Sorry, I'll be on mute.
Yeah. So they are importing now the customer. This is what we have actually in Salesforce. These are the sites: street, name, zip code, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow you can upload that in the same software. A little bit quicker here. Portion is not. Yeah, and this is what I mean. You have to here visualize the map, Germany. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then boom, this is the density of my customers in Germany. And of course, we have all these attributes we talked about. This is all what we have. Of course, we have the machine type, we have whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this ReGeograph software that can put certain layers on it. For example, one layer is the customer, one layer is the sales reps, one layer is the machines, one layer is the, I don't know. Yeah, and now I have visualized my customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would simply then draw, I don't know, south east of Germany, where I'm located, by the way. Here, where my mouse is. This is exactly where I am. I would say, okay, boom, this one by zip code, this is Martin's service company responsibility. And then I extract that from here, and then I add it in Salesforce into preferred preliminary service vendor Martin.
But so does that only work on Germany? It won't work on the United States or Canada?
That's unfortunately just Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. That's software.
Oh. So you want something exactly like that?
No, I'm just talking. Not really, but you know,
mm-hmm.
People have sometimes pictures in their mind.
Yeah.
And I know that not McDonald's, Coca-Cola in the US used to work similarly, but they developed something in-house, obviously big enough to do that, which allowed also to do this structure, this area structure, you know, to visualize the area structure, to visualize the density, to visualize kind of the amount of work, yeah, that I can and put a layer on it, which is the service vendor coverage. In our case, the service vendor coverage. Or in case I have an own service technician, this is then let's say the area I defined for my service tech, which this service tech can cover as preliminary.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's that's what I meant. You know, we are we need to more think about the process. How now it's by color. Yeah, that's the regions what they added because they defined before the regions. Here in this little video, green is Middle East and pink is Middle West and then North, and kind of the same could be then LiquiServe Texas is here and so on and so on. And then you assign basically. That's a freaking old software. I think I know since 25 years or so. You see it, the layout, yeah. But you understand the idea behind, yeah. And my issue is I don't even have a database which visualizes that. So how of course I know how the zip codes are generated in the United States. It's state and then county, I believe, and then yeah, it could be done like this, but this is too rough. This is not this is so much manual work, and I think there must be software out there where I can easily draw these areas and say, okay, push button, okay, this is my yellow layer, and my yellow layer for LiquidServe. I have this amount of machine that gives this amount of work. Is that feasible, dear LiquidServe? Yes, it's feasible. Okay, push a button. Okay, all these machines, preliminary LiquidServe.
So all of those red boxes are just now associated with LiquidServe?
These red boxes, what is he doing now?
Oh, this is the YouTube video. This is not you.
No, it's YouTube video. It's YouTube video.
So wait, okay, so I have a question for you. It's this service vendor services things in these zip codes, right? Okay. So you want to be able to draw a zip code map around the perimeter of that particular service vendor.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily, I'm not sticking on zip code. It's just we have the zip code as an attribute already in Salesforce, because the site obviously is associated to a zip code.
Yeah.
That's why zip code is it could be a join database wise. But I'm also fine talking about geolocation or whatever it is. I'm not sticking on zip code. I'm more sticking on, okay, this is the region, this is the state, and then down this is the town probably, and then this is the east side of the town or northeast area of that town, and this is where you serve. And you go I-5 like 300 miles east, and then I draw my area. Yeah, and that's I think what we have in mind. Tao, if I say bullshit, then please interrupt.
Are you going to call him out, Tao?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So,
So,
and
yeah.
at the end of the day, I understand what you say with Lightning, and I got the presentation here with Lightning also with integrated Click, and before Salesforce bought Click, I got also a couple of presentations about Click. And I know, of course, that the resource and scheduling, this resource part is, of course, one attribute that I find the resource is, of course, again, also the area. A service engineer or sales person serves, but again, it's again an area. So somehow in Click also I can draw or assign that area, that physical area, to that resource.
So yeah, so the territories in Salesforce are ways to divide up accounts. That's really an interesting idea. In that scenario, you would assign, I think, service vendors and assets that have accounts to a geographical region. That would be a territory. I'm not sure how you could pull that data back. I'd have to look at that. That could be one way to go. The exact thing that you're talking about, which is like having an account and drawing a map around it within and creating a territory, that first part is exactly the field service Lightning. But I don't know how it returns some of the reports you want.
Well, whether it's at the beginning of a report, or I'm also fine if you say, okay, our licenses, what we currently have, if we switch to Lightning, would bring already the, let's say, we can use that resource and scheduling portion with Lightning with our current licenses. then and you're familiar with that, and you and we find something, then I'm also happy to go that route. Yeah, it's not a problem. I just thought, thinking about a customer relationship management system, talking about territories, be it sales, be it service, technical service, whatever kind of service, be it any kind of responsibility by territorial area. There must be something out there and some experience how to define that in a way which is not just purely I have my geolocation somehow from Google Maps, and then I do some weird stuff in crazy databases manually with crazy coding, which is then giving me some mapping. We are in a visual world.
Yeah, we are. Okay. So
I think one of the things that we need to make sure that we understand is the filtering by each of the groups. And I think you have a good idea in your mind, Scott. But right now we're using, a data set that's just about active service vendors. It's clearly more than that, and there's more layers to that. So I think that's something we need to understand. And it's kind of backwards. We're looking at the installation site and who the service vendors are around that, whereas what Martin, you demoed is really the service vendors and who's in
their territory. Yeah.
Right, who's in their territory. So it's backwards to what we are currently seeing. So GeoPoint can do the color coding and that sort of thing, and I'm not saying that is the solution that we should use, but the reason why it seems contrary is because it's completely backwards to what you're used to looking at. So
I know, and this is the big critique, even from Ray Peden with his all experience, because if I want to, I tell you the background why this approach, what we are just discussing, or what I just explained, is the better one. If I want to have trustworthy relationship to a service vendor, and I consider the service vendor as a partner of the Sharer brand and a partner of the WMF brand, then I need to help the partner even kind of guarantee the partner a certain amount of work. And if I'm not able to do that, the partnership has not a good start at all. Because what would I do as a service vendor? I would look forward, okay, this company, Sharer, SEB Professional, gave me the last 3 months so and so much work. I got a lot of problems and complaints because I got just that amount of work, that with that work I can pay just 1 or 2 service techs. But they want me to serve an area which is way higher. But on the other side, I don't have a guarantee. If I hire a 3rd or the 4th one, that I can deliver the requested service level, that I can get the work to feed these 3 or 4 service technicians. So how, as a service vendor, why would I do that?
Yeah.
And that's why going the other way around, make it plannable. Make it plannable, but for that I need to have that kind of transparency on. Okay, this is the region you serve. This is the machine I have. This is the amount of work which is more than likely going to be generated from these machines. And this is the work I can give you. Now, dear service partner, you need to give me back a kind of guarantee that you, first of all, accomplish that work. Second of all, in a way which my customer as a professional requests, with a certain service level, of course, and with a certain price. And then we have a contract. And this contract means you're the preliminary there.
So in the old world, we would capture certifications that technicians had to ensure that they were able to work on specific types of machines. are we going to have that kind of information or something similar in order to determine, you know, who's qualified?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. This is still
Okay.
this is still an attribute there, and
Okay.
I can tell you the attributes. This first of all, I'm certified on a certain machine type, and I'm certified to do certain work. And the certain work is either installation and or installation calibration and or preventative maintenance and or repair. The lowest qualification I need is for installation. The second low qualification is for preventive maintenance because it's a defined scope of work. And the most complicated one is, of course, repair, because for repair, I need to be able to investigate and look into the machine. I need to have certain experience, certain education. So the attributes are always the machine type and the scope of work I would like to dispatch.
Mm-hmm.
And this is always associated, again, and it's also the failure from the past, it's associated to a company. First of all, the risk I have as a professional is that that company is then internal dispatching one which is not trained.
Mm-hmm.
But that I cannot solve as long I don't have the relationship with the company and the trustworthy with the company. This is a step further, step further, step further. Yeah, because it was a good idea. It was a good idea to have the service technician here, yeah, for that service vendor I've chosen. If you look into the database, how many service technicians we have in the database, it's probably a lot. If you ask how many of these service technicians are still alive, you won't get any answer.
But it seems to me if you can pull up Jaguar Coffee, the service vendor, Kathleen, I think that's you. It's right there on that case.
No.
No?
It's Martin.
That's Martin? Ah. Okay. It's right there on that case, Jaguar. So this is the service vendor.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at this record, I don't see any, I see that it's an active service vendor, but that definitional stuff about, you know, are they preferred? I don't see any of those ratings. So
no, of course we don't have that yet. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. So we would need to. So like part of it is like what we want to add to the service vendor so that we can granulate and have that priority and preferredness and certifications. And then the other thing would be where these people are authorized to work, what their territory is.
Right. And the scope, what we are currently discussing, is just the second part. The first part happens outside, currently at least outside the system. The determination is outside of Salesforce and outside of SAP, but with data from both. Yeah, this is under development. You know, what is the balanced scorecard and what are the service levels we are asking for and what are the KPIs we are asking for. So for now, the request is to be able to define this territory and to determine the amount of work based on the assets which are located in this area. Okay. And if I have the assets which are located in this area, I can, with the experience we have, I can determine without big issues the amount of work.
Hey, apologies, Martin, but we have to get on to the next
I know, we need to go. Yeah. Maybe you go already and then I can close that one.
And I need to jump off as well. So Scott, I'll let you wrap here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin.
Thank you.
Lots of stuff, right? I think for us to digest, Scott, to then map out kind of the best solution. I really feel like we need to get, because we've gone through this criteria, Martin.
Yeah.
I think it would be helpful, maybe Scott, if we can document some of the assumptions that we have out of here, and
Yeah.
then Martin, get your feedback on those assumptions, because before we map out a solution, we need to absolutely make sure we have all of that different level of filtering criteria that you're looking for. You know, that demo was helpful, but I think that was just an example, and you probably have some other ideas in addition to that. Okay, well, thank you all. And Scott, we'll circle back around.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think, yeah, in terms of priorities, first priority is that with a territory, yeah,
Yeah.
that I can define a territory, and based on this territory, I can determine the machines. And as I said, I don't care whether it's within Salesforce or without outside from Salesforce, a different piece of software, cloud solution, whatever it is. Within FMT is experience there. Yeah, I really don't. At that point, I don't mind.
Okay.
If you find Lightning with this new click implemented, a doable solution, and we have no impact on licensing, or no big impact in licensing, I also don't mind. I'm fine with that too. But priority has clearly by territory, and then the other attributes, yeah, but which are somewhere in Salesforce available. This trained on machine type, trained on installation, trained on repair, whatever, which helps then exclude probably a preliminary for some activities, some work. Fine, but second priority or third priority.
Okay. All right. So we want to be able to define territories and query the number of assets within that territory. Right. Okay.
Right. And with that, this result can happen inside Salesforce, outside Salesforce. I want to be able to upload on regular base, on regular base. Where is it? Wrong machine. This is the case, right? Jesus. No, it was there. I want to be able to upload on regular base, first, second, third. First, second at least, yeah. Now this is of course a bad example, because this one would lose, of course, first, second, third, because this machine is in stock at Jira or at SEB Professional, so it makes absolutely no sense that this is now filled out. But this is then fine-tuning. If there is no site, I cannot have a preferred service vendor.
Okay. So the flow is, we define a territory. We identify the assets in that territory, and we populate the first or second service vendor on the asset.
Yeah.
Yes, or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Anything else today?
No, that's it.
Okay. Good.
I will do some research, and I will document our assumptions and shoot that out to you, and I will send out a memo about our meeting.
Yeah, cool. Very good. Very good.
All right.
Very good.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.